Yeah, yeah. So this is very very sadistic. Um, Somebody had me speak once to
A group of such people?
a relative of his. Officially, he wasn't sure. No one was sure, but that was what the family felt.
A guy or a girl?
A girl, and I said I wouldn't speak to that person in public, private. I don't talk one on one to women. But if everyone's around, I'll give a shear on it, like as long as it's not like a known thing, so that she doesn't know she's being set up. So this is a shear. I tried it out with the live. What do you call it? Live fire. So here's the what. So we did men and women Torah already. So what's Maisa Mitzrayim mean? So we ever did Mitzrayim?
No.
I think I did Mitzrayim with you. No? With
Which
Yosef?
part?
It's really next week's Parsha. When Yosef goes to Mitzrayim, is the Mitzrayim Torah. But you definitely heard me. Both you two.
Maybe heard it elsewhere. I don't
The
think
Torah about that Eretz Yisrael is described as Loik Eretz Mitzrayim.
No,
The
I've never
definition
read
of the Torah of Eretz Yisrael is that it's not like Eretz Mitzrayim. Asher Shkisa B'Raglocha Gana Yerek. Eretz Yisrael is not like Egypt, that you water your crop like a garden. Eretz Yisrael, you have no Ya'ar. In Mitzrayim there's the Ya'ar, and the Ya'ar overflows, and therefore they plant in the Nile Valley, and they dig irrigation ditches from the Nile to their plants, and everything gets watered. Very geschmack. It's like built-in water. Eretz Yisrael, the pasuk says, doesn't have a Nile, a Yar. Sorry, they don't have a Yar. You need mitar hashemayim. You depend on rain from Shemayim. Mereish Shana and Acher Shana. It's a land of Harim, Ubika, mountains and valleys. Basically, it's a fascinating description. That's the Torah has two descriptions, right? It says it's Zavas Chol Uvdvash, we know that. But more important, it's not like Eretz Mitzrayim that you water it with your feet, like from a ready extant water source. Here you need the rain from Shemayim. That's the definition of Eretz Yisrael. So the definition then of Mitzrayim is that it's not like Eretz Yisrael that needs rain. We have Yar. What's the aside of needing Yar? Can't believe we never discussed this. What's maybe one. It's like one of the most olive-based Torahs that I have, because everything you need to notice for everything is that it's extremely hard to be a farmer. There's nothing harder than being a farmer, because you work from morning till night. Besides that, it's a hard job, a lot of hard jobs. But what's extra hard about the farmer job is that you can do everything right the whole year. But there's one variable that you don't control, and that's the rain. So I can do everything right, and I can buy the best tools and work from morning till night and do everything right, and I don't control this. I don't control the rain. If it doesn't rain, I get nothing. So to live like that is a huge weight. It's like there's a certain vulnerability that you're literally not in control. Most people cannot live like that. You can't invest yourself in something to that level without knowing that it's going to happen.
I mean, everything's like that.
No.
Hard work doesn't equal reward.
What?
Hard work doesn't equal reward.
You have a job.
It does. Mitzrayim it does. Most people live like Mitzrayim. In the Torah's lashon is most people only plant around the Yar. They only do the hard work where all the math adds up. They only invest.
The world will look very different if hard work equals success. The world will look very different.
No, because that's a good shot. But
That's the curse of ultimate.
But again, that's not this. You understand? Listen, nothing is guaranteed. Fear, but usually when I see someone who's not being matzliach, you know what the answer is? Yeah. Or he's fake. He's working hard when he should have worked easy. He's copping out. He's making the easy phone calls, not the hard ones. Or he's working hard, meaning he's a stockroom boy schlepping boxes all day because he didn't want to go to college and take tests and get a real high level job. A lot of times the hard work is a cop-out. You could have had a job that was knucky and easy, right? You see, the world was designed for success. If someone's not hitting it out of the park, he's schlepping somewhere.
Because he's not working hard?
Yeah. Well, doesn't mean hard doesn't mean
Not working hard.
he's not leveraging his skill sets. He's not being who he was meant to be. Okay? He's underperforming. If you knock on the doors you're supposed to knock on, which takes courage, It's much easier to knock on the wrong customers, because then if they say no, you didn't really expect them to. But to knock on
That's
the,
all curse of Adam, is eerst weg te gelachen.
but it's not. But it's a curse. But it's not saying it's not going to happen. The curse is that you're going to eat the bread with sweat, not that you're going to sweat and not eat bread. That's a whole different level curse, and that curse wasn't given. The curse of Adam is that you're going to get your bread, but you're going to have to work for it. You're saying that you could. It's not shchiach. I really haven't met that guy yet. Every guy who's not making it, 5 minutes into the conversation, you know exactly why he's not making it, right? Usually, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to figure it out. They have stories and narratives in their head, and it's probably true for shluchim also,
Okay.
Okay.
Well, it's telling the guy you can't just say that and as an open statement. It's telling him who's getting the nose, or giving the nose. I mean, there could be two guys here. One guy gets all the nose.
Yeah, but
one guy gives all the nose.
you can give no's to things that should have been yeses because it's too much work, or you can get a no because the girl felt like you were schlepping and you weren't. A hero is a guy who's all in, and you didn't have the fire, or you had too much fire, and too much fire is also fake. It's also not organic. It's like the sheep could be all black or all white. The point is there to be both. Anyways, okay, I don't want to get too.
We'll save it for later.
What?
We'll save it for later.
Let me go because we had what?
That's
Yeah. So where were we? So I was saying, that's Mitzrayim is the idea of planting around the Or.
Mitzrayim is no risk. It's
What?
a safe way.
It's safe. It's the planting around the Or is a great metaphor for investing yourself only what's guaranteed. The same thing as that is arovos. Arovos are called arvei nachal in Torah, willows of the streams, because they grow along the nachal and they get all their irrigation from the nachal, and that's how they grow. They don't need rain. And that's why every negative chazal is said about arovos. It has no tam and no reach, because character, personality, tam and reach comes from dreaming and vulnerability and lying down at night, not knowing what's going to be, hoping, praying, Hashem, make this work. That nervousness and that excitement and that trepidation builds character. If everything is guaranteed and delivered, then you have no tam and no reach. Mitzrayim plants around the Or, and therefore when Pari has a dream, there's no one in the whole country who can interpret his dreams. It's a country that doesn't know from dreams. Because dreaming is to long for something
It's
that's
like
not.
they feel today, the whole Africa's like that stuff.
Yeah? It could be, I don't know. Okay.
I don't know if it's the camera.
Okay, your RV goes that far. How do you cross? Okay, all right. But you hear that this is so. It's. They have to find a Jewish kid from jail. He's the Balach Haloimis. It's next week. He's a dreamer. I'm going to repeat this next week because it's part of the whole sugya. But Yosef is the Balach Haloimis because nothing's guaranteed. He's in jail. He's there. Everywhere he goes, he's in turmoil. He's at risk. So this is a definition of Mitzrayim. What is Mitzrayim? If you had to define it, it's a land where people only take what's safe and guaranteed. So oy bazoy, let's go back to girls and guys. I told you what's that whole man-woman Torah, right? The princess hero. Why is that the universal trip? Because what's the word of the princess? Is that the guy? How do you tell a girl? That's my question. How do you tell a girl that she's a princess? How do you mechaber a girl? What was the punchline of all the men woman Torah? Is that question? You have to answer that question.
Honor her.
And how do you honor her?
Tell her she doesn't change.
No. How do you honor a girl? How do you tell a girl that she's a
Get
princess?
inspired by her.
Which means what? How do you call that? As a look? You're there. What?
Awesome.
Hustle. Slay dragons. When you slay dragons, what are you telling her? Oh, I'm a princess. When a woman sees a man killing dragons, she goes, wow, I must be a princess. But let's say a girl doesn't believe in herself that she's a princess, right? So we never did it from the girl's side, right? So the girl's princess, or the girl's job is to be dignified and regal and preserve her Tara. And if the girl preserves her dignity, then she's a princess and she's inspiring. And any guy in her presence will become a dragon slayer, will become a hero, right? That's our whole Torah. So what's the punchline? If that's the whole Torah. So what's Mitzrayim to a girl? let's say
The
a girl
opposite.
is scared that she is not going to be able to inspire. She doesn't have what it takes to inspire a guy. I'm not going to be able to turn a guy into a hero. I'm not inspiring enough. If a girl, like the girl's job,
Let's check my phone.
So it's the full color.
what?
Take a minute.
Reb David, I'm just finishing.
Okay, go back.
What?
No.
We never recorded this?
No, it was just pause it while he was
Oh, okay.
talking.
So
So we try.
you have to get this. I feel like the oil is it's like we're all like at the end of the line. But here's the vart. The vart is that a man has to be he can slay dragons. If we don't believe that we could slay dragons, then we want to live on the banks of the R. We don't want to be dreamers and heroes. We cop out and we just plant our stuff in Mitzrayim. We forget what that looks like. But on the girl's side, what is it? If a girl doesn't think that she could be inspiring, I'm not going to change. I'm not going to light anybody's fire. To take a guy, a wild, crazy guy, and make him into a gibor and a tzaddik, and get him to go to shachars, I don't believe I have what it takes. So, what is the Mitzrayim of a girl? What was that who you said that women are born already sholim, and a man is a project. What gets the man to become a sholim? The princess. So if a girl doesn't think she has what it takes to turn a guy around, to make a guy into a hero, so what does she want? She's only going to be interested in people who are already sholim. And that's what lesbianism is. Lesbianism is called Maisa Mitzrayim. It's the ultimate Maisa Mitzrayim.
Wait, how is this tied to lesbianism again?
Well, because Mitzrayim, Maisa Mitzrayim means to just take things that are already complete.
Okay.
And I don't need to change it. I don't need a. So the ultimate example of planting around the R is for a girl to go with another beautiful, sweet, kind girl, rather than taking a guy and making him into a hero. So lesbianism is called Maisa Mitzrayim. It's the women's version of copping out, of not taking the guy's gonna slay dragons, and his cop out is I don't want to slay dragons. The girl's version is I'm never gonna get a guy to slay dragons. Let me just have someone who's already perfect. I don't need to change him. I don't need to inspire him. Someone who's already there. That's the Torah's. That's a very deep Havana of what lesbianism is, and you can imagine if you have someone who's in that mindset, it's probably very much the truth for most people who are. It's just it could come from an insecurity myself, or disgust in men, thinking men are so bad. I'm not good enough to change him, or men are so messed up. But both of those sides are the same thing. They'll drive it to the point that I just want a finished product. Yeah?
The guys, because they don't want to hustle.
What?
Right, what's the guy version?
What's the gay
What's
version?
the
They don't
guy
wanna hustle.
version?
They don't want someone else.
The guy version.
If they don't want to be inspiring, they're
They're
copying
hustling
out
too
by like.
They don't want to
Yeah,
have
he
to
wants
work.
a girl who thinks he's the greatest.
No. The
Because
guy
he can
version
say,
of no.
he can say a
Mishka
whole
Tucker.
sentence in a burp.
No.
You know?
No, Mishka Tucker.
Oh,
What's
that's
the-
a whole
Why
that's a
can't
whole
it be the
different
same
shit.
thing? Why can't it be the opposite?
No,
could it be? No, can't be.
No,
No,
they wanna slay dragons.
the word is Ma'is Mitzrayim. It's a different idea. Why isn't it included in homosexuality? It's not. It's its own mitzvah. Homosexuality is only men. It's a whole different sugya. I'm explaining what Ma'is Mitzrayim is. But with Mela, this whole word Ma'is Mitzrayim was only saying it as a setup. Now, what's the opposite of that? Of Ma'is Eretz Canaan. Ma'is Eretz Canaan is the opposite. The Mitzrayim is a laziness and a cowardice and a fear of dreaming. The Ma'is Canaan is the other extreme of perversion. Is that sickness where people need to do crazy, wild, sacrificing babies in fire and like moilech, all those crazy, evil, the world of darkness and screaming. That's the opposite. Ma'isa Mitzrayim, Ma'isa Eretz Canaan. Ma'isa Mitzrayim is a certain fear of investment, copping out. And Ma'isa Eretz Canaan is silencing all my dreams, not by running away from them, but by crazy screams that the terror of, you know what I'm talking about? Like that there's a word for it, and Halloween is supposed to be like that. Bacchanalia. Look it up. It's like Avodah Zarah worship was about like devil worship, like pagan, like just the terrible evil is like torture and crazy things to drown out any. One is like so dark and one is so powerful. You know, that's the difference with Maisa Canaan and Maisa Mitzrayim. Okay, so we gotta stop.
How do we tie this into what we were saying before?
No, so all this was explaining that the Canaanim are the thing that hid the gold in the walls. What doesn't allow you to see the beauty is the Maisa Canaan. You see, the Maisa Mitzrayim doesn't really hide what's in the walls, because the Maisa Mitzrayim is it's a cop out. So, but you know you're weak, and you know that and you know it's there, and it doesn't silence your dreams. Mitzrayim allows for an exodus. You could have a Mashiach who takes you out of Mitzrayim, because the dreams aren't destroyed. But the idea of Canaan, like the lesbian girl, if she had people who inspired her and showed her godless, so she can go out and marry a guy, and she'll take a chance. She'll feel that she could change somebody and inspire someone. And there's no greater joy than to have a guy that you feel like you created a hero. It's recoverable. That's called Yitzias Mitzrayim. Everyone's sort of like that. Everyone has that chasar. We're all planting around the Or, and you need someone to show you you're godless. But the Canaan is darker. The Canaan, we have to wipe out all the 7 nations of Canaan. That's what I wanted to get into. I wanted to get into this thing, the thing that buries your beauty in the wall, the thing that puts the opposite of what Yaakov was doing. Yaakov was peeling off the bark to reveal the white. The Canaan is putting bark on top of the white. It's darkening every art. That's what Canaan is. They live in darkness. And that's, okay.